Hey, yo, fellowshippers, what up? Welcome to the Fellowship Hall with the twins and Ralph. I am Ralph, and I'm back with my fellow twin number one, Keith, twin number 10. And we're here today to review Insecure. I'm not the moderator, but you know me and I know you. We're here to get it started. So, look, we took a little small hiatus from Insecure.
Wait a minute, we're not gonna get to introduce ourselves.
No. They know y'all. Listen, we took a small hiatus on Insecure. A lot of it's my fault, you know what I'm saying? So we missed 4, we missed 5. We're gonna just jump straight into 6. Not a lot happened in 4 and 5, really. To be honest, episode 4, after a good episode of episode 3, episode 4 fell back down to the boringness. And then
The boringness.
we at that point we were 3 out of 4 boring episodes. Then episode 5 came around. Episode 5 was okay.
It's okay.
The biggest thing at the end was we saw that it was mostly boring, but the biggest thing at the end was we saw that Issa saw the baby.
Mm-hmm.
That was the biggest thing for episode 5, right?
Well, at least she saw Lawrence and Condola. She didn't see the baby till episode 6.
Now, well, in episode 6, that little whole thing was Issa's imagination.
Oh, really? I know that, but I'm saying episode 5, she just told them to wait, and then it went off. So she didn't see the baby in episode 5. She saw the baby in episode 6. Bag me up.
She saw them all from a distance.
Yeah. She saw them from a distance. I'm saying she didn't see the baby. She just saw Lawrence and Condola getting ready to go to their doctor appointment.
All right. So she never really even saw the baby then, because the episode 6 was this past episode we reviewed, correct?
Episode 6 is what we're about to review.
Episode 6 was
what I say.
Her little imagination vendetta.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, I mean, am I right or wrong? I mean, so did she not see the baby? Let's clear that up right now.
She did not see the baby.
Yeah, she did not see the baby.
Right. It was in her imagination.
Is it
just her imagination?
Episode. And what I was saying was episode 5. She didn't she didn't see the baby. She just stopped them before they went to the doctor appointment when they had called their names. And then episode 6 started out with her going up to fake see the baby. So that would have been the only time she actually saw the baby. But
I don't think she actually even called their name.
None of it happened.
I think she just hid.
Yeah, I think Lauren saw her, and then she went on about her business.
Right, but she didn't. Episode 6 was when she actually told them to wait. Episode 5 ended with her seeing them, and then Lauren seeing her. She never told them to wait. That was all.
She said wait in episode 5, gentlemen.
She did not.
She did not, bro.
She did not.
She did not.
Go ahead, Ralph.
Fellowship was y'all let us know if she did or didn't. But anyway,
Fellowship don't have to let you know. I'm gonna let you know.
She didn't.
This episode, man, was
he probably saw the preview for episode 6, Big Ham, and that's got him confused.
That's probably what it was.
You think so? I thought she said wait at the end of episode 5, and then it went off when she said
it was at the end of episode 5 when they showed a preview of episode 6. Y'all pray for me.
But
I do need your prayers.
But anyway, man, I know the moral compass, Ken, the odd man, I was gonna say this was a boring episode, and he's gonna say nothing really happened. But I actually enjoyed the episode, man. I enjoyed it.
Decent episode.
I enjoyed it because
it was conflict for sure throughout the episode.
It was conflict, and we kind of see, what's going on with Issa and her love life and her love world, like, and the conflict within Issa herself is because she called herself, really she's lying to Nathan, and that she's in love with him, and he see through it.
She lied to herself.
At the same time, she's telling him that she love him.
She lied to herself.
He's having these crazy imaginative vignettes about not letting Lawrence go and lose to Condola and kicking Condola into a hospital bed, and Condola kicking her into a garbage can, and got on a ring that's nicer than the mall ring that he bought her. And so and you gotta give Nathan credit for seeing through her mess and not just bowing down and saying he love her when he know he don't, and not really just truly believing that she love him when he feel like he knows she's all over the place. So you gotta give Nathan credit for that. Another thing that you gotta give Nathan, well, you gotta give Issa them credit for, which Issa has to be the queen of. She has to be the queen of believable sex scenes that never show anything. Like Issa sex scenes are believable, and we haven't seen her breast or anything. Like we only see side views or whatever. So you gotta give her credit, even though there be believable sex scenes. Issa sex scenes, but we never see nothing. It has to be a character who's
What's
not.
the same with Molly too, right?
Yeah, same with Molly.
Yeah.
Same with Molly.
Molly's aren't as good, but it's now hers aren't as good as Issa's. But
I think episode 5 was decent though.
nah, bro. It was
Sorry.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
All on the same level.
But you gotta give her credit for being able to work their art in that way, without showing much.
Without showing themselves, yeah.
It had to be a tertiary character. Those are the only ones that really get to show them, that show their bodies on Insecure. So that was good. But,
yeah, not even. I would say bit players that's only on one episode usually.
Yeah, except for Tasha.
Aside from Lawrence, unfortunately.
Yeah. And also, man, we see Issa and her spat with Crenshawn is kind of affecting the block. And man, I'm still not feeling Crenshawn on.
Wait a minute, fellowshippers. Hold on. Fellowshippers. If you recall the first episode of this series, this season, Big Ham had Crenshawn as his MVP, and
I did.
Both Ken and I violently disagreed with him
vehemently
because
it's two different situations. Number one,
it's the same
I gave him MVP for sticking to his guns, but I don't agree with him for blaming Issa. I don't agree with him for blaming Issa and trying to call Issa a sellout because he stuck to his guns. As y'all rightfully said, he's the one that broke the protocol. So, I give him credit for breaking the protocol and working, but he can't have his cake and eat it too. You can't break protocol and then try to claim Issa is a problem. So, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I enjoyed this episode, but I am an Insecure fan, so I'm anxious to hear what the moral compass or the Iron Man out had to say about how he felt about the episode.
All right, go ahead, Ken. I guess Ralph is running things today, which is probably why it isn't flowing as smooth as normal. But go ahead, Ken. Go ahead and give us what you think.
I thought it was a bearable episode. That was all it was, man. And I'm not.
At least he's changing up the words.
Ralph put it on the tee for me to knock it off, but it was just a bearable episode. I mean, didn't nothing happen, but it was entertaining enough to watch. You happy that Molly's mom recovered? That's good, and from her stroke, and the little retreat stuff where Molly was going through some stuff, and I think I forget his name, but he told her like, we can't let work take over personal life or be more important than personal life, and I think that's something that many of us need to really take heart to, because it's so easy to get so caught up in work that you kind of put it before everything that really, really matters.
It's almost like the expectation, which is unfortunate in the business sector or whatever you want to call it. It's almost the expectation that you put your work life before your personal life at whatever the cost, and that's unfortunate because a lot of people unfortunately fall into that. Even the people that feel like they would never do that, they still can fall into that cycle, unfortunately. But go ahead, Ken.
Yeah. When you're striving to be successful, a lot of times you'll try to go the extra mile, and a lot of times the extra mile is at the sake of something else that's probably more important. And if it's family, it's definitely more important.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll take off my I'll get off the psychiatrist's couch. And,
get off the soapbox is what you mean?
I didn't think I was on the soapbox. I was just talking about the show. Nevertheless, attack if you will.
Well, you know what, Ken? That's one of the good things about the show is that it's so relatable. And I always talk about real life issues.
Yeah.
The show that you say is just an okay show. That's what everybody love about it. But go ahead.
It's a good show.
It's an okay show. I still stand by that. And this episode was bearable. And the two episodes that we missed were also barely bearable.
I think this was better than the two we missed.
Yeah.
I think it was on par with them, honestly. And I'm just doing real talk. I'm not even trying to make jokes or anything. It's an okay episode. Like I said, I could watch it. The whole Molly and her coworker dude. Obviously, that hug was gonna lead to something almost. And
I was worried about that.
I was
Why
worried
we
about that
worried?
too.
Is dude
I can't
married?
I don't know if he married, Rev. I don't care. I just can't have my girl Molly stooping to that low level type of guy. Molly
What you think
deserves
she was doing
a
in the last episode with the dude that she met on the beach for the first time?
yeah,
She
but
ain't
that was a
stupid.
work.
She
But I'm
doing
saying like
her.
Why you
stooping
call
to a
Tori?
low
Why you
level
call Tori a low
relationship.
level guy?
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
why
I
is he
didn't
a low
mean low
level
level
dude?
guy. Okay, let me finish. I didn't mean a low level guy. I meant a low level hookup at work, which I was worried about the night before already.
It's no difference than the dude that she met at the beach,
No,
man.
it's completely different.
You said
No, it wasn't. It was. It
because of
was.
work dude.
It
It's
was
a work
between
dude.
two dudes, and she was already leaning toward one dude till he wanted to go home and feed his cat, and then she
Finish your
went with
reaction.
the dude.
Finish your
I'm
reaction,
fine,
please.
but I keep getting interrupted.
Okay.
But it was just an okay episode. The whole thing with Molly and the dude, whatever. She got drunk and then he took care of her, so I guess that may have led to it also. But honestly, I don't see as big a big deal like you did. If she had messed with him, she messed with the other cats. The whole Issa
Well, hold
and
on. So
Nathan
I disagree with you. I'm sorry, Ken. I disagree with you
start calling you
because I feel
Kanye
like
West.
that. Huh?
Start calling you Kanye West.
Okay. Okay.
Big
I
hand like
disagree with
that.
you because I feel like that Molly. This would have been like a bad cycle to me if Molly, was struggling with the whole work and against and balancing her mother in the hospital, and then she opened up to this guy, right? And they had a moment, and they were like they of course they're colleagues, but also at time they were adversaries. And so they had a breakthrough moment where she told him what was going on, and then she gets some good news, which is great. I felt like it would have been kind of poor writing for her to just sleep with him, and just tear down that relationship that she kind of just built up and making it just like a instant one night type of thing. That's what I felt. That's what I felt.
He
That
was the
that
one that
wasn't
pulled back.
necessary.
She was
He
she was
did pull
still
back.
okay.
He did pull back, and I'm glad he did.
So
I'm glad he
the credit
did.
should go to him in your mind, right?
I said I was glad that it didn't happen. I didn't necessarily say it was because of Molly that it didn't happen. I was just glad that it didn't happen.
And then like what was up with the interaction with Nathan at the barbershop with dude? Like was that to highlight Nathan's bipolar tendency and for this dude to kind of bully him or attack him over there because he cut dude hair that had been waiting there for a while? I don't know. I don't know what that added to the story.
What was dude name? Suge.
Sure.
Yeah,
Suge was completely wrong in that
Yeah, he
dead
was
wrong,
situation.
absolutely wrong. Dead
Dead
wrong,
wrong.
man.
You know why?
dead
Because
wrong.
unfortunately, unfortunately, sometimes a barbershop is like that. Barbershop is where you can go and conversate like the movie barbershop or whatever. But in reality, that's the way it is in the black community. Barbershop, you can go talk about anything. Sometimes stuff you want to talk about, sometimes stuff you don't want to talk about. Nevertheless, it's the barbershop. Anything goes almost, or anything can happen. But one bad part about that
Drawback. Huge drawback.
is appointments and timing are rarely kept. Now
Yeah.
some of the newer places for sure they keep their timings or whatever. But back in the day when we were
We
growing
were
up,
growing
you
up.
call and put your name on a book, and you get there and you never see the book, so you don't know if your name is really there. And you go up and ask them, and they like, you got two names in front of you, which you don't know. Now that wasn't the case in this episode, but I'm just bringing the whole barbershop type of interactions. So dude was wrong because he had his people waiting for over an hour and he wasn't even there.
He
It wasn't
wasn't
like
even
he was
there.
there
That's
cutting
the
the
that's the
head.
issue. He wasn't
He
there.
wasn't even there. And
Right.
the guy asked Nathan to cut his hair, like what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, but yeah, and then I think that scene was to highlight a couple of different things. I think it was to highlight that one barbershop culture, and also to
Mhm.
highlight, how we feel and talk about mental health in the black community.
Yeah.
And so I think that's mainly
Making
what it
fun
Attachment.
of
is.
it.
But as
Yeah.
I said, man, like I'm just not. I'm like I understand, that it's important to kind of get rid of that stigma in our community. But bro, I just really don't care about Nathan at this point. Like I don't care about him at all, especially at this point in the series.
Nathan is a
I don't really care
recurring
Bingo.
about
character, man.
right. So man, it's
Bingo.
like and that was good. That was good television in my opinion. But at the end
Oh
of the
yeah.
day, we don't care about Nathan.
Hey,
And then I'm looking at this like we got 4 episodes left after this. We
Oh
got
really?
roughly over 2 hours of footage left. But, we need to get to it.
it
And we
ain't time
wasted
to
I
be
think this
giving
is it.
Nathan
wasted
a
about a
backstory.
minute and
I think this
17
is it
seconds
though.
on Nathan about to fight Suge in the barbershop.
Exactly. Exactly.
And Nathan
He
should have
should get
fired him.
handled. He should get handled.
Mhm.
Remember Nathan beat up that dude in the back of
Yeah,
Issa lift that time.
they got
They
hands.
can throw hands. Yeah,
I don't
Yeah,
know.
remember he
I
beat
can't
up dude in the
remember
back of
that.
East Lift?
yeah.
I do not
That's
remember
Dude
that.
exactly
had to
what I
press
just said.
charges.
Can't go. Yeah, remember that's why he ghosted Issa because he was worried about getting caught up in that stuff. Anyway, Ken, are you finished with your
Forgettable
reaction?
episode. No, I mean, I've been trying to get finished, but I keep getting interrupted. But the
We've been
last
hoping
thing I
you would
wanted
get
to mention.
finished.
Say it again.
We've been hope. I'm not gonna shy away from the comment. We've been hoping you would finish. Go ahead.
Well, you helping to keep it going because you keep interrupting.
Go
I mean, I can
ahead.
go all day. I got all day. But
Man,
Apparently,
go
actually, I
ahead
don't.
and do your
Actually, I
benediction.
don't. The last thing I wanted to mention was is Issa just being Issa, man. Like, I don't care much for her character as a whole, but as usual, she is selfish and she's thinking about herself. And now she didn't
yeah.
saw Lawrence, he didn't move. Then she finding more and
Move
more to
back.
find fault. Move back. She
Yeah.
finding more and more to find fault with Nathan, and that's just her character. Selfish, thinking about herself, wants instant gratification, didn't want Lawrence with the baby, and now she sees Lawrence with the baby and Lawrence with Condola, which I don't even know if they back together or not. If they
Should
just
be.
going to the appointments together, but in
Yeah.
her mind they're back together, and she wants him, and she's kind of finding things to find fault with it, Nathan. So that's just Issa being Issa to me, and it's just messy Issa, which I don't care for.
All over the
Hey,
place, like
so
Nathan said.
yeah, that's
Big
that's a
E.
good comment by Ken at the end there about Issa because as much as Big Ham and I love Issa because Issa is the basis for Insecure. This is not our power or any or Snowfall type of podcast, but Issa is our protagonist. She's not necessarily a criminal protagonist, but she's our protagonist, and that's who we
Messy
root for.
protagonist.
She's messy, but can you hit the nail on the head? Issa
Yeah.
was all calm and collected, and then she started thinking about Lawrence. Like she broke up with Lawrence. She cheated on Lawrence, and we go backwards, but she broke up with Lawrence, and now she sees Lawrence, and now Nathan is not enough for her, which I don't care about Nathan, like Big Ham said. Nathan's cool or whatever. When he left the previous storyline last season or the season before, whatever, I was like, good, we done with Nathan. Good, it's cool. And now he's back, and I get it is what it is, but Issa is jealous, and now she wants Nathan to be her Lawrence, but he can't be. So that's
Right.
that's 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 one thing you
And
mentioned
he
that
don't
was
even
right,
want to
Ken.
be.
He don't want to be. He don't want to be, and that's one thing that Nathan will never be my MVP. But that was MVP-ish for him to really not falter or bow down to Issa's expectations, or you know what I mean. Like he don't know she love him. She just said it in the spur of the moment. What they when they were walking the dog or whatever, was that when she said it to him for the first time?
Was it
That
that, or
was the
was it
second
after the
picture walking the
earthquake?
dog and laying in bed or what?
Or was
Yeah,
it after the
whatever.
earthquake?
I think he said that's why I love you. Yeah, that
Oh,
was on
maybe
that.
so. Yeah,
It
maybe
was looking
so.
for
Yeah.
Flavor Flav. He was
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah. So
Flavor
anyway,
Flav.
so I'll give my quick reaction. But you guys, I know I joke Ken a lot, but you guys both hit some strong points. I feel
True.
like that I hate we didn't get a chance to review the past two episodes, but like Big Ham said, they weren't much to review. Molly's mom had a stroke. They went out and had some party, and then there was another Nathan backstory about his cousin and his wife, which I was like, why is that interjected into here? We don't care about that. Like again,
Flavor
mental health
episode.
is serious. Mental health
Yes.
is serious, and he was going through some stuff, which is, I guess, to explain his ghosting mentality, or his you didn't come home late and all that stuff. Blah blah blah. I understand that. I appreciate that, and that's serious, and we should be taking it seriously. But in this show, we're just talking about Issa, so that's why we said. And if you are interested in Nathan, that's fine. That's all good. But I'm not interested in it. Okay, so let me bring up a couple points from the previous episodes. I think one highlight that I think we got to mention for the since Thanksgiving just passed was it was hilarious for Molly's brother to talk about the last thing he said to his mama was her dressing wasn't her best. That
Yeah.
comment made me laugh out loud because
Yeah.
I've thought that and probably said that to my own mom before, that I
Shut up.
love my mama's dressing. Although my
You messing
wife's
up.
dressing right
You
now
messing up,
is
future.
neck and neck with it. But
You messing
I
up.
have
Do you want
told
to put this out right now, bro?
I do want to put it
You might
out,
want to edit
but
it out.
I
You
do
messing
want to
up.
put it out. Be quiet, I can't. But I have said to my mom before, Mom, your dressing is great, but it's not as good as it normally is. But that's all love. That's all love. But anyway, that's something else about Insecure that I love is the
Disrespect.
realness of the type of comments that happen in most black households
Yeah.
are thrown into this show. So I really appreciate that.
Mhm.
I also really like I fell in love with the show because of Issa's quirkiness and how she reacts, and then it turns out that they really didn't happen. It was just in her mind, and that's how things happen. You play something out in your mind, like, man, if it had happened to me, I would have did this, that, or the other. In reality, of course, that doesn't happen, but that's what happens on this show, and that's what I love it. But anyway, back to the pod. Ken and Rav hit most of the points. I don't know if I'm missing if they miss anything, so I'll just really quick say a few things that I just want to make sure that did get covered. And that was the whole Molly thing. I don't understand why she wouldn't tell Torian or the group about her mom. It made no sense to me to keep that a secret. Now, if you're dealing with something, like personal that's like strictly with yourself, you waiting on some results or something like that, I feel like that would be something you might keep a little bit closer to the chest because you don't want nobody feeling sorry for you, or you want to make sure you know what's going on. But to tell that your mom was in the hospital, I feel like that would have been a no-brainer to share. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah,
It
she
was
could have
just
shared
Super
it.
Molly, man. Super Molly trying to be Superwoman and trying to be, more heroic and super loyal when she don't really
Mm,
have to be. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? I just think
agreed.
simple with her. I know, like, if something like that was going on in my life, I would immediately tell my employees and close coworkers about this going on. So, I'm gonna need a little help here. I might need a little time here, or, but I'm a person who's been part of teams all my life, so I kind of understand how teamwork works. And maybe
Yeah.
Molly probably had that same experience. So, but Molly's a really prideful person,
Hmm.
and it's been evident throughout the whole series of how her pride gets her in trouble and kind of mess
Goes
things up
before
for
a
her in a lot of
fall.
situations. You know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think that was just par for the course for Molly.
But see, and that's the thing, like Molly not sharing it and then constantly checking her phone and listening for it vibrate, that made her look even worse than she actually
More
was. But
unprofessional.
anyway, yeah, anyway. So I was happy about that. Not sure why they had to throw in her, I guess, wilding out at some party or bar or whatever. I don't know what really that added. I
Taking out
guess,
of her grief.
Yeah. She
yeah, I
was
guess
stressed the
her,
situation and she
yeah,
ended up
and
letting it
her
go
way
when
she
she got the
dealt with
alcohol.
stress. Yeah,
Yep.
You don't normally
okay.
see somebody as professional as Molly in that particular profession, at that particular setting, get drunk to the
Mm,
point to where they can't remember what happened.
yeah. Agreed. But see, it's not like Molly doesn't party because she does party with Issa and the crew, but it's just like I don't know why they had to throw it in there. Anyway, so again, y'all Rav, you already said about Nathan and Issa, and Ken made the great point about Issa acting funny with Nathan because of her feelings about Lauren. So that was good. I think one thing that I hate after seeing last week's episode, I was excited to see what Issa was going to say or what the interaction was going to be with her and Condola and Lawrence. And then they just teased us with her imagination, and nothing actually happened. So I wish something did happen. I was kind of excited to see what would happen and felt like there was going to be great conversation for us, which I guess it turned out to be based on what actually happened. But I felt like that there was going to be because I'm all team Issa and Lawrence, and right now is not looking like they will be. Although the
Very
preview
team.
for next week seems to show Lawrence showing up at her house with the baby, so I'm just wondering what that's going to be. But anyway, fellowshippers,
They probably eat the imagination all over again.
well, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. But anyway, fellowshippers, make sure you let us know what you thought about today's episode and the two episodes that we missed. If you got some comments that we didn't bring up, let us know if you agreed or disagreed with some of the things we said, and make sure you engage with us, and we'll engage back. All right, so this next segment we got, and for you guys, for you loyal fellowshippers that know us, we try to give some kind of segment to break it up, the podcast, and keep it fun and new. So Big Ham came up with the idea of having an MVP for this show, this episode rather.
Was
So
that Big Ham out there?
I think it was Big Ham's idea. Was it yours, Ken?
Hmm.
It was mine.
Yeah, it was Big Ham's idea. Yeah, so
Okay.
the MVP of the pod today is me. Anyway, Big Ham, go ahead and tell us your MVP for this episode. Forget about
My
five,
MVP for
four, and
this
five. We're
episode.
talking about six.
My MVP for this episode, bro. My MVP was I call him Tori. I don't know if it's Tori or
Taurean.
Taurean. Yeah, Torian. So
Mm,
it was Molly's coworker, man, and
yeah.
I thought he was the MVP #1 because he pulled the curtain back and shared some real stuff with Molly about he shared some stuff about how we need to put
Brother. Oh yeah, go ahead. My bad.
how we need to put our life before our jobs. And Kim reflected on that earlier. He also gave us the support about the things that was going on with her mother. He also was able to make sure the presentation with our school when Molly was off her game.
Yep.
Yeah.
As
Carried
well.
it.
And then he also was able to be professional at a moment when, a vulnerable, attractive lady like Molly in a hotel room and it's just y'all two grown, consenting adults.
And
An attractive
she
woman like Molly giving
seems to
you,
be willing.
yes, willing and giving you a signal,
Yeah.
him having the discipline to throw the stiff arm out and be like, no, and then say something awkward to kind of break it up. My mom has a bug.
Yeah.
I give credit for that because a lot of brothers have been far much weaker than he was in that situation, man. So I give him an MVP for that, man. That was a good job by him to be able to support her, to be able to give her some solid advice. Uh, took her back to the hotel when she was drunk out of mind to take advantage of her. Got her quick enough that he left his watch. And then, when she had the opportunity to make a move, he did the mature thing and didn't do it. So I gotta give him MVP for that, bro.
That's a good call, man. That's a good call.
Yeah.
Ken, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go next. So my MVP this week was Issa's imagination, dreams or whatever, where she punted the baby or shot the baby and then kicked Condola, and then when Condola kicked her after talking about Lawrence's
Money and
money and
stroke.
endowments. So I thought that was pretty funny. And a lot of times, sorry, fellowshippers, but just real talk. A lot of times, I'm being truthful. The show is just okay to me. It's watchable, and so a
Ken,
lot
come
of
on,
times
man.
I end up having to rely on something that makes me laugh, and those were the things that made me laugh. Sorry. I'm sorry, man. That's just what it was. That's the MVP of this episode for me.
This is a terrible MVP, bro.
That's a
You're
terrible
terrible.
MVP.
That's an awful MVP. I think it's the first time I ever criticized you like your brother does. Awful MVP, man. You could have did better. Go ahead, Keith.
I thought it was pretty good.
It wasn't good. It wasn't a realistic MVP.
It was
But
my MVP.
okay. So
I got two names for my guys to go list.
So this is kind of hard for me, but I really don't have an MVP for this episode.
But
So
mine was terrible. Wow.
yours was terrible because yours
But
wasn't
you have
realistic.
nothing.
I have no MVP for this episode. I thought at some
Big
points
Ham,
Issa
you need to
was.
weigh in on this.
Let me finish. I thought at some points Issa was strong, and then at other points Issa was super weak. So I couldn't give her my MVP. I felt like Molly missed the mark when she could have opened up a little bit sooner to her team, and maybe not put them in a potentially struggling situation. So Molly didn't get my MVP. I'm not so Nathan crossed my mind. Nathan crossed my
Nathan
mind
could have
for
been an MVP, man. It was a strong episode for him, even though
Nathan
we don't
crossed
care
my
about him.
mind for MVP, but he's still a little aloof with Issa. Now, don't get me wrong, Issa is always wrong telling them she love him, but him saying, I had this trouble with the barbershop and I'm thinking about maybe LA isn't for me. I thought that was kind of a weak point for him to be telling this girl that he's in this relationship with that, he had a rough day at work, so he's gonna move. And and yeah, I mean Nathan probably was the closest thing. I didn't really consider Torian until Rav mentioned him, but I didn't want to just change it to Torian just because Rav mentioned him. So I thought Rav brought a good point. But at the same time, I felt like Torian, and maybe not this episode, but the past episodes, and since we didn't pod him, I'm gonna bring him into this MVP discussion. I felt like he was always pretty nonchalant when dealing with Molly. Like, hey, you coming in? And then she was like, oh, I told you about this personal appointment. Then he like, oh, okay, are you going to be able to work on this? So I didn't care for that much. So no MVP for me, fellas. So if you come at me in the comments, be
So is the segment a most valuable player or the list of people who didn't become my most valuable player and then my most valuable person was no one?
Is the segment most valuable scene?
It's better than nothing.
Hey, listen, man. Both of y'all hush. Y'all know y'all have ground speaker. What dude depict something that didn't even happen as his MVP?
That's how whack the show is at times, man.
Nothing as his MVP.
I gave reasoning.
Thank y'all for tuning to the Fellowship Hall with the Twins and Ralph. We appreciate y'all coming in and checking out our review of Insecure season 5, episode 6. And we jump back into it after not doing episode 4 and 5. Hey, stay down with us, man. We're gonna keep rocking with Insecure. We're gonna keep rocking with our other shows that we're doing as well. You can follow us. You should subscribe. Yeah, you should subscribe to our YouTube.
Yeah, hit the like button.
Fellowship Hall. Hit the like button. Comment. You should also follow us at the Fellowship Hall on our Facebook page. Follow me on social media, Facebook at Raphael Hammond. Then follow me on Instagram and Twitter at HamDog22. Keep rocking with us. And until the next time, Fellowship, be blessed.
Be blessed, Fellowship.